Money does buy a person's freedom. People are treated unfairly within the U.S. justice system based on how much money they have, which influences perceived social value or status. In reality, an abundance of money or lack of money significantly impacts someone's life for better or for worse. Money does buy someone friends, a good reputation, quality clothing, and social support. Without having money, it'd be extremely difficult to attain the same materials or social status if you were rich. In most cases, it'd be virtually impossible, especially if a person is not well liked or accepted within the community. There are two variables that create this problem: people and money. There are two cases that represent poverty and wealth that I have chosen to show you today: the Stephen Avery case from the show Making a Murder and the O.J. Simpson's case. The Stephen Avery's case was about a man who was framed for murder that he never committed. The most interesting fact that I have learned about Avery was he would never admit something that he knew was false, even though he would have gotten a much less severe punishment if he had confessed to making the murder. The Avery family was not wealthy, nor was the family well liked by the people in their community. Because his family was not wealthy, and because they repossessed cars and lived in a junkyard, the town thought badly of his family, especially of Stephen, because he was abnormal. Since Stephen was involved with drugs, alcohol, and the wrong people as a teen, there was a conflict between him and the local sheriff. Because of the influence that the sheriff had on the local law officials, in 1985, Avery was falsely convicted of first-degree sexual assault, attempted first-degree murder, and false imprisonment of Penny Bernstein. Avery served 18 years in prison for this conviction. He maintained his innocence throughout, and in 2002, the Wisconsin's Innocence Project took Avery's case. As a result of improvements in DNA testing, they were able to exonerate Avery in 2003 based on DNA evidence indicating that someone other than Avery committed the crime. The DNA was matched to Gregory Allen, who had been recently released from a 60-year prison sentence for sexual assault. Avery was then released from prison on September 11, 2003. Do you have an idea as to why Avery was falsely accused? It was all about the sheriff's hatred for Avery, and the community's perceived personal character of Avery as well. It all started because people in the community and local law officials perceived the Avery family, Stephen in particular, to be crazy, poor, and troublemakers. Because he was poor and unable to represent himself in such a way that could be perceived as upstanding, with either acceptable clothing and social support, and a popular and unbiased lawyer, he was vulnerable. The sheriff, who was perceived by other law officials and the people within the community as an upstanding person who always does the right thing, had a stronger influence in court than the actual evidence, or lack of evidence. O.J. Simpson's trial is an entirely different story. Those of you that do not know this story, this man was office rocker. He was a pro football player, which meant he had made a lot of money and had a beautiful wife that he had later divorced, and a life that most would drool over. He was well liked by the community and perceived as an upstanding man with good character. He was then accused of murdering his ex-wife and her friend Ron Goldman at her house. He had made it so obvious to everyone that he had killed them, and yet he was found innocent. O.J. had stepped in their blood, tracked it down his own hallway, put the bloody boots in his own truck, and put his bloodied clothes in his own washing machine. In court, because of how wealthy he was able to pay for skilled lawyers. Lawyers that are known due to their success and have high-profile reputations. People tend to believe what those lawyers say instead of what they would believe based on actual evidence. History shows that people are influenced by money and the appearance and reputation that is created by the abundance or lack of money within the U.S. justice system. Those that have an abundance of money and the things and services money can buy may be able to escape the punishment that they deserve. Those that do not have money are more likely to not be able to afford the same things and services in order to be given the justice they do deserve. I believe this justice will occur over and over again because it is human nature to judge based on appearance and reputation that are bought with money. I I believe unfair judgment may occur less often if trials will be held in a location where the involved parties are unknown, and the accused be placed in clothing that does not express social or economic status. Whether the accused has the money to afford a more qualified defense, however, is uncontrollable. This is an issue, however, that if not taken rightly with the right measures, will never be fixed.